The Little Mermaid is a film with a little too many argumentative questions for my liking. Is it a good film or not? Is the entire film just Ariel trying to get a man? Is Ariel a good role model for young girls? Etc, etc. So I decided to make you guys a video in which I review the film by analyzing the plot, characters and songs, all while addressing some of the critiques that this film has gotten over the years. And then finally, giving the film a rating out of 10 stars. Yes, 10, not 5. Per usual, you guys can expect the Zeezypher animation quiz at the end of this video. Now without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's start with the characters, shall we? First, Ariel, the youngest daughter of the Sea King Triton, is our resident protagonist, who I'm honestly not the biggest fan of. At the start of the film, it's pretty clear that she is extremely curious about the human world, and she loves collecting human items. Be it forks, a globe, an hourglass, you name it, she's got it. I actually liked Ariel until about 20 minutes into the film, when she sees the handsome Prince Eric for the first time. Not that I don't like Eric, I actually like how different he is from the Disney princes that came before him, with how little he wears royal attire with some cape behind him that flows in the wind, and coming into the film with his valiant steed. My only issue is with how Ariel's first encounter with Eric affects the rest of the film. From that point on, she ends up being that protagonist who makes everything worse for everyone around her, because after saving Eric from drowning, she immediately falls in love with him. This leads to her making some incredibly terrible decisions. The biggest one of which is naturally her deal with Ursula. If you actually go back and look at that entire scene again, you'll realize that Ursula didn't do anything wrong. In that scene, that is. Ariel went into the deal already aware that Ursula was a bad octopus, she would have to give her voice away, had 3 days to get a kiss from Eric, and she would become one of those plant things if she didn't get the kiss before the sun sets on the last day. She knew all of this, but she still decided to give the old John Hancock. Why? Because she was in love. She was willing to risk her life for the mere chance of being with a guy she had just met. She'd never even had a conversation with him, and was therefore never able to ask the important questions like,
what's his last name? What's his favorite food? Best friend's name? Eye color. What size?
Bottom line, Ariel is a terrible character. I don't blame everyone for thinking that the whole film is about her wanting a man. However, I do not agree with that statement. Sure, Ariel got really boy crazy as the film went on, but the thing I feel a lot of people are missing is that she already had an interest in the human world. The only reason she met Eric is because she already loved the human world. Meeting him just intensified that love. I'm sure if she knew he could do it and he didn't hate humans, she would have asked Triton to turn her into a human being long before she'd ever met Eric. Most of the other characters aren't really that bad. Triton is a good father, you can tell just how much he loves his daughters, how he wants to protect them and wants them to be happy. Sebastian is hilarious. Samuel Wright did an excellent job portraying this cautious crustacean. I like how Flounder always stands by Ariel, but doesn't always just agree with everything Ariel says or does. Eric is a little different from the other Disney princes we know, which makes him a little unique, so he doesn't just feel like someone we know with a different name. I hate the bird! What's his name again? Oh yeah, Scuttle. The bird is totally useless throughout the film. He only did 2 worthwhile things throughout the whole film. Saw that Ursula was pretending to be someone else to marry Eric, and called a bunch of sea animals to help fight her. I kept getting the feeling that he said something funny, but I never actually found anything he said to be funny. Lastly is Ursula, the devilishly devious sea witch of the 7 seas. Ursula is the best character in the whole film. She's smart, manipulative, and knows how to change a situation and make it work in her favor. Poor Unfortunate Souls is a fantastic song that shows just how much of a master manipulator Ursula is. I will never forget the moment in which she tells Ariel not to underestimate the importance of body language. Still funny. The plot isn't all too bad. Ariel has a deep love for all things human, while her dad has a deep-seated hatred towards humans. She eventually meets a human, falls in love with him, goes to any and all lengths to be with him, and eventually gets to be. Overall, pretty good. I just don't like the fact that it all shifted from the story being about Ariel's love for the human world to being about Ariel's love for Eric. When the film started, she wanted to know everything about humans, but it all falls by the wayside when she gazes upon the dashing prince. I'm honestly not sure if Ariel was saddened by the destruction of her vast collection of human items or the destruction of her Eric statue. The entire story just ends up being about her wanting to be with Eric, and not really caring about what she has to do to make that happen, and she never even faces any negative consequences for her actions. She makes a deal with the devil and suffers the effects for 5 minutes? I'm really questioning who the villain of the story really is. Sure, Ursula offered her the deal, but she never forced her to sign anything. Ursula saw an opportunity to become the ruler of the seven seas, and she took it. The only quote-unquote bad thing she did was cast a spell on Eric. Well, that's excluding the fact that she tried to kill Ariel near the film's climax. My point is, the entire story basically tells every young girl watching that it's okay to make terrible decisions in the name of love. You can sell your soul, or voice rather, to the devil and risk your very life for a man, and it will all work out because you're in love. Ariel never really faces the consequences of her actions because Eric turns the villainous sea witch into a shish kebab. I honestly understand why people question whether Ariel is a good role model for young girls, and in my opinion, she isn't. The entire story makes it seem as if a 16-year-old girl can do whatever she wants as long as it involves a guy. Needless to say, that's not really something parents around the world would be thrilled to see. The songs, I don't really have much to say about. There are 4 songs in total, namely Part of Your World, Kiss the Girl, Poor Unfortunate Souls, and of course, Under the Sea. And they're all pretty good. They all add a little something to the story, be it information on one of its characters, making a certain series of events feel more natural, or providing a medium through which one character can attempt to manipulate another. By all accounts, the songs are great, and the film wouldn't be the same without them. In conclusion, The Little Mermaid ain't half bad. It's got some good songs and characters with some incredible voice acting. No, the entire film isn't just about Ariel trying to get a man, but the message is pretty bad. The main character is definitely going on my list of some of my least favorite Disney princesses, and Scuttle is going on my list for some of the most useless characters. However, the question still remains, how many stars does the film get? Well, based on everything I just said, I'm gonna give this film a very strong 6 out of 10 stars. Above average, but not really a 7. Okay, it is now time for the Zeezypher animation quiz. Here is your question. Before The Little Mermaid, when was the last time Disney made a princess film? Okay, if you guys are in the mood for another Disney Renaissance film review, make sure to click on the video right on the screen. This has been Zeezypher, till next time.